Look who I found, it's Martina from HPE.
Hey.
Thanks for coming on the show again.
Thanks so much for having me.
So usually we're talking to you about movies. I think the Star Trek movie, we did Ghost in the Shell. Now you've gone to building blocks. What's going on?
Yeah, well, we had to bring some toys because this time we didn't have any fancy movie toys to bring with us. But it's actually really interesting because what we're showing here is kind of helping our customers understand why memory-driven computing is going to change everything.
So what is memory-driven computing?
Memory-driven computing is a brand new computing architecture. We've been working on this for the last several years, but basically what we're doing is we're reinventing the way computers are built. We are freeing memory from being attached to the processor. We're putting it at the center of the architecture, and that means that we can bring computing to the data and do some amazing things with that data now, because it lets us get improvements that are 100x, 1,000x, maybe even 10,000x improvements on some of these workloads when we can run them in memory instead of having to go back and forth from storage.
So what kind of applications are we looking at?
There's all sorts of applications. Last year we actually worked with a group in Germany called the DZNE. It's a group that's working on Alzheimer's and dementia research. So this isn't about toys. I mean, this is like real stuff that they're working on. And they're trying to actually find the way to figure out way before someone has Alzheimer's symptoms if they are actually going to get the disease. And so they give us their genomics pipeline. They said, okay, we think this is pretty awesome. Let's see what you guys can do with it. And in less than a year, we had over 100x speed up on their pipeline. So it's changing the way they do their business. They went from 22 minutes down to 13 seconds. That is the power
13
of memory.
seconds.
That's right. Memory-driven computing.
Okay, so
for the win.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's the health sector.
Right.
We've got the building blocks here. What's happening here?
So what we're showing here is that when you talk about what we just talked about, those are really big data applications. But we want folks to know that it's not what memory-driven computing is only for, right? So we can actually use that same architecture to build everything all the way from a very tiny edge device. So some of these cool things here, like you see maybe some autonomous vehicles or a truck that needs some monitoring, all the way to a purpose-built architecture for the cloud. So think microservices and microseconds, all the way up to your mission-critical core or even an exascale computer. So this is really an architecture that scales from every edge to any cloud.
And we're seeing this happening now?
Well, absolutely, because what we're seeing is that as we start to bring some products into market, we have products like our HPE Superdome Flex that already has a lot of these memory-driven computing principles designed into it. So you can already start to get a lot of the benefits today, and we're just continuing to bring those technologies out. You want to build something?
You'll build it.
Yeah, let's build some Legos.
Oh, very cool.
All right, so you want to build an edge device?
How hard could it be?
It's easy because we have memory-driven computing.
Okay.
So I think you need a little bit of a processor, right?
Yep.
You need some processing. If you're going to bring an edge device, you want to compose together just the right amount of memory, right? So maybe not too much, just a little bit of persistent memory. Put it together, and then let's say you have an autonomous vehicle, right?
Okay.
You're at the intelligent edge. You probably want to do some kind of artificial intelligence, and maybe you want to do some deep learning on some video analytics streams that you've got coming into that autonomous vehicle. Well, you probably want to be able to add a special purpose accelerator, which is purpose built for those deep learning applications. So you can go ahead and add that there.
Zoop.
That's right. Now you have all the pieces that you need, just the right amount of those components for that edge device. And just imagine adding more of them. That's the power of memory-driven computing.
Very cool.
That's cool stuff, right?
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Mike. Great to be with you guys again.